to Marilyn Hall. She's got what she calls her party dress today. Uh, Welcome, and you're off to Bermuda shortly, aren't you?
I will be going in a week's time. I will, yes.
But we'll
And
still do programs, folks, from
so, yes,
Bermuda
if we
even.
still do programs from Bermuda, the fact I have to be up 4 hours earlier,
Oh,
so it won't be, I think it'll be later for you, Rodney, because you can't, it gets a bit noisy in their house with the school run and everything.
well, yeah, I know, right. We're all
But it would be from sunny, sunny Bermuda. Yes.
absolutely.
And I understand the King is going to visit while I'm there, not because of me, but because of Donald Trump. So, I should be on my sunbed drinking pina colada rather than
But
going to
take
listen
your
and
little
wave
flag.
to the Muslim King.
Yeah, more of that later. And don't forget to wave your little flag and stick your diddy out.
With my pina colada, yeah.
That's it. Right, listen, well, I'm getting fed up. I'm going to be honest now because I'm fed up of politicians telling lies.
Oh,
And liar, liar, I'm sorry comes to mind in all this. Why? Well, we've apparently had a young lady who's been pushed to the front, being Muslim, to sort our borders out. Ms. Mahmood, and she's come and extending this wonderful contract we've had with France for 3 years, which has cost us 500 million, best part of. And the French have done nothing except pop one rubber dinghy. But it's been announced that this money she's paying 1.6 million extra just for 2 months to bide us over is good value for money. Well, hang on. Does anybody do any maths anymore in Britain? If
no,
you
no,
look,
Rachel
no,
Reeves can't do it.
that's £1 billion.
I
It's
know.
doubled in price.
It's dreadful. I mean, how can they justify it? What are they going to do? They've done nothing what they've got. So what are they going
Well,
to do?
yeah, I don't
What?
blame the French for 1 minute. It's we that are stupid.
Oh,
And, they've got a problem. They don't want these people. Let's get them over there. And the French, when they say, look, it's your own fault. No wonder the whole world wants to come to you when you give them
well, exactly right.
everything
I
plus.
was going to say you can't blame them.
No.
You can't blame them. I mean, if it is ridiculous. I mean, the behavior that's going on. I don't know if you saw Marks and Spencers and Clapham. I mean, absolutely feral, out of control people. And I saw a tweet only just now from Bev Turner, in America, GB News, saying, and she's right. Why don't they have a National Guard? To control all this like they do in America. I have never, ever in the States felt at risk, ever. But
No.
here, wherever you go, I mean, it's just horrendous. It's horrendous. And
Well, the
but mind
significance,
you, look what's happened to you. Spain, you've got loads of them coming in, haven't you?
well, yes, but the significance of London, and these are feral young people, and the vast majority, I'll say it, are black.
Yeah, well,
And
absolutely.
that's how they're getting away with it because the police daren't intervene to the same extent as they should and could. It's all right saying the police force are undermanned, that's true. But there is that factor that they daren't tackle it because of race card being
Yeah.
played.
But haven't we learned anything from the gangs? That's been going on for 30 years. We couldn't
Yes,
control because, oh, the race card. The race card should be ripped up and thrown in the bin. I mean, I can't believe they're still using that as an excuse. It's dreadful. But then, of course, it would be because it's two-tier policing over here.
yes. Let's go back to more lies. 40,000 people, according to a minister this morning for the Labour Party, have been stopped coming over. Really? We're solving the problem, he said. Now, in this particular interview, Mark White was interviewing him,
Oh, I like Mark.
and the Blue Touch Bay was lit and he'd had enough. And Dawn Neeson the same. And she said, wait a minute, those 40,000 people were taken back on shore in Calais because the dinghy popped or they didn't have enough life. You can't count those figures. You're misrepresenting. No,
Exactly.
they're not. They're lying through their teeth,
Mm,
just the same way as when they popped up 3 months ago and said, "Oh, we've reduced the number of hotels that these immigrants are staying in, illegal immigrants, by 100." Yeah, well, that's true, but it's a half truth again,
yeah.
because what they've done is rehouse them in bigger hotels.
Yeah, well,
So,
that's right. I mean, that's right. They're just moving the deck chairs on the Titanic. They're not solving anything, And the solution to this is you don't let them in the first place. But this was always going to happen. I remember when I was in my teens, early 20s, and I can remember saying to my dad, the worst thing you can do is open the borders. And I wasn't into politics then at all. It was just a common sense thoughts of a young woman. I mean,
well, right.
and I was right when I thought about Enoch Powell, but my dad accused me of being racist. My dad was a real socialist, a proper socialist, not like this lot now, and very egalitarian and altruistic and all of that. And I'm altruistic, but I want my country to be safe, and it's not.
This lot have got no intention, and I don't know why the British public don't understand this.
I think they do understand it, but I think
Well, they've got no intention of stopping these illegal
no, they
immigrants,
haven't.
the
There is
Labour
no
Party.
political will because
It's
they have
it's
another agenda.
No, it's so easy. You put them, as we keep saying, on a Scottish island to UN standards, European court
That's
standards,
right.
whichever standards you like.
Yeah,
Problem solved. They're going to be back home after the freezing cold and minimal conditions, which is all you have to provide for
that's
people
right.
running away. But they're
Exactly.
liars, back to that word again. They're not running away, they just want benefits.
That's
So the
right.
intelligent liars, put that, they're not
Yeah.
stupid like
They're
our
not,
politicians.
no. I mean, it's just, it's beyond, oh, I don't know. It's gone beyond a joke. I don't know when people are actually going to stand up and change. But the trouble is they're terrified of doing it because, you might be arrested.
Patrick Christys the other night started his program and he got it absolutely right. Looking at the state of Britain and not doing anything. And the rant, he kept into posing a camera that showed young people, in this case, not don't let's blame the young people always, it's everybody, dancing. It
Oh,
was party time.
yeah.
That's all many people in Great Britain are interested in. The weekend, getting smashed.
Mm,
It's part, as long as they can have party time. And it said everything without him even opening his mouth
mm.
about why we're in
Yes,
this
yes,
state.
yes, yeah, yeah. You don't need to actually say it. You can show it, can't you? That's the thing. Absolutely. And as for the Green Party thing, did you see that? They're dancing on the stage with men scantily clad in black lace and goodness knows what else. Did you see that? I mean, that was just revolting.
Yeah.
I mean, just ridiculous. I mean, I just don't know. I just, I just can't get my head around what's happened in like less than 2 years because you're coming up to nearly 2 years since they got in now, haven't you? And it's just gone down the toilet.
And we hear the same boring thing from every minister. Well, it's this 14 years of Tory rule.
Tory, that's right,
And for
exactly.
goodness sake, no, sorry, you've been in there for nearly 2 years and it's actually got worse. End
Yeah,
of.
absolutely right. And that old chestnut again, you can't keep playing that one. You really can't keep playing
No,
that one at
it's
all.
getting boring.
It is dreadful. It's dreadful. It is so depressing. I mean, you just don't know. Somebody came the other day, they said they'd just come back from a holiday, took one look at the headlines and got a flight back out again to somewhere else.
Well, as the hated Trump, because he is, because of our not every part of our media, but our rotten media, have again brainwashed the public and saying enemy number one is Donald. And the Donald has said, drill, baby, drill. referring to the EU, but
Yes.
especially United Kingdom. We've got all the oil. And again, they are liars. A minister this very morning said, oh, if we drill now, it's going to be 10 years before we're properly online. That makes him a liar
It's just, that's
because we
absolute
know the
lies.
new field west of Shetland can be online at the end of this year. He
Yeah.
knows that.
Yes.
Therefore,
Yeah.
he's a liar.
Absolutely right. And I haven't seen it, but apparently 10 o'clock this morning, um, what's his name? Starmer was supposed to be coming out on front of number 10 and apologizing for all the lies. Now, I don't know whether, because it is April the 1st, so I don't know whether this is April Fool's Day joke. I think it
He'll
must
be
be.
there for 3 days. It's not just
Yeah,
this
well,
one.
exactly. And I just think, I get fed up with April Fool because I think it's a stupid thing. Children can do it, but when adults do it, and especially when you're saying something in the news, that when the news is so awful that if you make jokes about this, I just don't think that's acceptable, really. It's all too serious to sort of think, April Fool.
Yes, a bit childish, isn't it?
It is childish.
Yes. Right, we move on before the blood pressure impedes. Um, well, let's go to Europe in general. The USA are miles apart from the philosophy, theosophy, and political nous of Europe. And Europe is getting deeper and deeper, in my humble opinion, in the doo-doo, because we've not only got floppy Sir Keir, we've got many others of the same ilk throughout Europe. Europe is very diverse. You've got the right and the left wing. If you go to Germany, they've got their heads screwed on right at the moment, and they're quite hawkish, and they're supporting generally, as an example, the US escapades out in Iran. You go to other countries in Britain, where I am convinced now we are experiencing, sadly, the final death of our great empire, and it has been
Mm,
great. And
mm,
we're at the bottom of the pit now.
absolutely.
Spain is a complete and utter traitor, where we are.
Mm,
Ultra left wing government, hating Trump at every level, of course, goes along with the theme. And never mind the good that Trump has done. People forget easily the good, don't they? The Gaza, the
mm,
Venezuela.
mm.
No, they just go on what's happening. Well, we don't know what's happening finally in Iran, but it looks as though actually it is dragging its feet towards
Well,
an
it was
end.
going to. It was always going to. I mean, they are of that nature. They are rigid, unbending in their belief, and absolutely determined to drive this through. That is their complete raison d'etre, if you like, and they are not going to bend. Uh, I mean, this is the trouble. I mean, you get involved in the Middle East, and you are in the middle of an eye of a storm all the time. And there was some, I mean, I don't know what's happened. I was being so busy the last 2 days, but I did see something that said, oh, I think it was last night that Trump is losing Iran or something, losing. Well, I can't see any. I can't see who's going to win out of this. I just can't see it.
Well, that's the media. Let me tell you the truth behind that from feet people on the ground, and they've been there for years. No, he's not. He has accomplished everything at
All
one
right.
level.
Yeah.
The war has been won, but the people's hearts and minds are still in a terrible mess.
Yes.
They're frightened to death, which is not surprising
Not surprising,
because this
no.
evil regime
Hmm.
has just culled them literally for donkey's years and other
Yeah.
people. They are responsible, Iran, not for just as if this wasn't bad enough, 40,000 deaths of young people. That's a
Yeah.
crime, but it's millions over the years.
Oh,
And
yeah,
unless
absolutely.
America had intervened, we'd have had a nation that not control itself with a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
it goes even deeper than that because they're not stupid, the Iranians. They come from a long Persian history and
Yes,
they're very bright people.
yes.
And it's been found now that they wouldn't drop the bomb. Other countries that are very close to them will drop the bomb, like the Houthis, like Yemen.
Yeah.
It's already been planned. And it's frightening times we're in. So the Donald, in my and your humble opinion,
Yeah.
has done right. Just be a bit patient, please.
I mean, I don't like to see people die, but that is the ugliness of war. But you're dealing with ugly people who want ugly intentions. And so, unfortunately, unless you're a complete sop and a snowflake, you actually do have to do something, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
That's what leadership is. And people don't understand what a lonely place leadership can be. But look at Margaret Thatcher. I mean, she was very strong and sure of her ground and did stuff that I'm sure people obviously disagreed with. But I mean, I was a thing I saw the other day. Was she the greatest prime minister? In my view, yes. I know in the end it all went pear-shaped, but she turned that country round. She turned our country round, and there's no doubt about it. She was exceptional.
Yes. And she was called all the names throughout
Yes,
her
oh,
reign.
absolutely, absolutely. And she stuck to what she fundamentally believed in and made the right decisions for the right reasons, which was for not her own ego, but for the country. And that was not, it's not happening now. It's not. And to be honest, I do think with Donald, you hear so many awful things. No one's met him, so people make these judgments about him, the man. I mean, he has had the spine to go for it and not sit there and go, should have done, he's done it.
Let's
I
go
mean,
back to an exact parallel, and that was Chamberlain before World War II started.
yeah, yeah,
Appeasement, appeasement. Oh, it'll go away.
yeah.
No, it won't
It
go
doesn't
away.
go away. It doesn't go away. Behind the scenes, it gets worse. And if they smell weakness,
Oh,
they,
yes, they're good at that.
oh look, we've got a chink in here. Let's expand. Let's expose that. Let's exploit it.
Mm.
And meanwhile, we will carry on. We can be as charming as we like, but the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yes, and without being cruel, petrol prices, yes, they are, and that is tough, especially for people living in the country parts of our
Yeah,
country.
yeah.
But look, there's a bigger picture, folks. And yes, to use that hateful phrase, we're all in it together.
Oh.
In this instance, we jolly well are. Let's put up with a bit of suffering for our comrades abroad.
Well, I think you have to. I mean, to be honest, there's nothing we can do about it anyway. So we just as well.
Well,
We
yes.
can whinge all we like, but I don't
To
think we're
quote
going
the
to.
board, we could, the
Yeah,
bard.
I don't think we've got any power, or we can discuss it and we can
Well,
moan about
yes,
it.
you're right, but you're also forgetting a small candle in a dark room,
Yeah,
and we are. And if there's enough, even if two or three, that's all right.
absolutely. Absolutely. I was talking to something very different yesterday on my show, Heart and Soul. I had Theresa Murray on from One Voice Against
Yes,
Abuse, and the two of us together were talking about, I said, you can have, you don't need 400 ministers to make change. You only need about a dozen really strong, determined people who know they're all in the same boat and they all going in the same direction with the same energy and passion, and you can achieve huge things rather
yes.
than faffing around with so many departments and stuff like that. And people don't want to be like that anymore. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it.
Well, it's as we keep saying, where we are. We'll move on quickly um, to what the Russians and the Chinese are up to. And that is winning wars, but doing it the soft way. And especially Russia at the moment have become masters of getting in there in social media and winning wars that way, especially for our young people.
Yes.
Our young people and our older people believe everything they read on social media. It's like they believe what happens on television. That's how the BBC have got away with it for decades. Well, I'm sorry, you question the truth of these people. Now, that's easier on social media because social media companies let anybody advertise, even the rogues. That's unforgivable, social
Yeah,
media.
yeah.
And although we go on time after time about sexual, imports that's on there, it's other more subtle ways. And the Russians are using it. Why? Well, again, referring to World War II, it's Lord Haw Haw
Yes,
that was
yes, yes,
broadcasting,
yes.
oh, you're doomed. We're all doomed. But it's psychological warfare.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
yeah, yeah, yeah,
difference
yeah,
between
yeah,
that and what the Russians are doing now.
yeah, yeah.
So question everything, folk,
Mm,
especially on social media.
yeah. And also you've got the dreaded AI.
Yeah,
You don't know what the truth is anymore. I mean, do you know what? It's really quite frightening. Um, uh, one of the producers I work for with another show, she she did this thing of her sitting in Trafalgar Square feeding the pigeons, right? And she was going singing like "Feed the birds, tuppence a bag" and all of that, right? And there was this other woman's voice talking to her, and I thought that voice sounds familiar, and it was me. And she actually had me talking to her about feeding these pigeons, and I went, but I wasn't even there.
yeah. Yeah,
Frightening,
believe
frightening.
nothing.
I mean, I don't like pigeons anyway. I said that wouldn't have been me. Oh, you wouldn't have got me in Trafalgar Square with the pigeons. But how did that? Of course, it's AI.
Indeed. There is on most AIs a caveat printed underneath, like a ticker tape warning. Not everything may be correct.
Well, yeah, but it's pretty
We do
sinister.
know that, but it's there in writing, so
It
you know
is.
excuses.
Yeah, but if you're not the person that did it, that set it up, and you're implicated, that apparently I'm there sitting in Trafalgar Square feeding the pigeons, and honestly, you would truly think it was me. I thought it was my voice. I thought, why am I sat here?
Yeah.
And that's the thing with AI. There's so much fake stuff, isn't there? How do you prove it's not fake? That's the point.
Well, you experience is the best way you come across this. You get a nose, and when you've looked at 15 plane crashes and ships sinking, no, that doesn't look right, and obviously it's not right. It's just up there trying to dig things out, our better side of life, which leads us on to Gen Z people.
Oh,
Why do we pick on them? No, we don't. Some of them are very good, and some are very bad. But I tell you what, we've had a report from, again, the States. They seem to be getting these reports out quick about dating. It used to be called the hookup culture
oh, oh.
in America, and it's college time and teen time. And wow. And it links up with something that is very important, quite deep, which we're going into in a couple of minutes. And 56% of adult males in their early 30s or 20s can remember back when they said a question, did you do any dating at college? 56% said no. That is not normal. And people are saying, what's going on in this generation? Are we not making the hookup culture like it has been going on for years? If you are mixing with young ladies in your teens, you will sit back, oh, that's not bad. Let's chat her up. This is, sorry, guys and gals, that's normal. And well, it used to be normal. Now the males are getting picky. And I wonder why. Now, I'm going to read a little bit in the start of something that we're going to roll across your screens now about the death of Jenny Murray. Now, she was champion at the BBC
Yeah.
on Woman's Hour for decades. And I used to listen occasionally, and I was always uncomfortable. Didn't know why, But it seemed, oh, the ladies are having a real go here. That came through everything. But promise to read you some things linked to what we've just been saying. Our warnings about the establishment's delusions go back years. We were right then on the left-leaning Conservative Party. That's a nice way of saying the wets in the Tory party that's not been a Tory party for years. Okay, on the left-leaning Conservative Party that turned its back on marriage and motherhood, that embraced the feminism that fragmented society, that let the working classes go hang and was the precursor to our suicidally low birth rate. And this is all bound up with men's relationship with ladies and the dating game. And perhaps men are saying, oh, if that's what the ladies are like, yeah, I'm going fishing. Now that's some words in extremis, but have a look at this, see what you think, and we're going to have a chat about it when it's rolled through.
Our warnings about the establishment's delusions go back years. We were right then, on the left-leaning Conservative Party that turned its back on marriage and motherhood, that embraced the feminism that fragmented society, that let the working classes go hang, and was the precursor to our suicidally low birth rate. That's why I cannot join in the fulsome tributes to her legacy. In my view, is disastrous. This, remember, was the woman who happily parroted Mary Wollstonecraft's analysis of marriage as legalised prostitution. Her liberal ideas might have been fine for the entitled selfish few, but as Laura Perrin so brilliantly instructed the rest of us, Laura corrected her. Murray was the woman who, however personally sad was her death, her influence, lauded by Harriet Harman, was pernicious and destructive. We were right on Jenny Murray, as we were right to attack a Tory party that embraced her ideals, as well as the wokery that followed, from multiculturalism to protected characteristics that led to tolerating Islamism and trans rights. We were right again to attack the Tories' net zero insanity, bad science, victim culture, and liberal approach to abortion and assisted dying. Yes, this was the Tories, the party that gave in to that left progressivism that they are still yet to apologise for, that has led to the new Dark Age barbarism which the Lord's vote for abortion to birth last week brought to final fruition.
Well, is that a wake-up call? We don't take any store. If anybody dies, it's a tragic event. But there are certain people have not brought good. And that's what I believe this article is saying to this world. And to call marriage legalized prostitution as an example
It,
is a trite, excessive.
well, it is. It's feminism on steroids. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's been a God-given union for centuries and centuries, and to look at it like that, where people love each other, they want to have a family together, they experience joy and sadness together, and hardship and all that stuff. For better, for worse. For richer, for poorer, all that stuff, such as your union, that has got nothing, it's nowhere close to prostitution. It's ridiculous. And that is suggesting that, somebody is very subservient and doing this and somebody is doing something else. To me, if you really wanted to extend legalized prostitution, it would be someone who's on the town, gets together with some guy who's like, trading wares with buying jewelry and stuff like that. There is no real relationship. There's frankly just sex. And then he or she moves on to the next one. You could say that was a form of prostitution if you want to look at it like that. But to address that into a marriage is just absurd, absolutely absurd. And I don't know when this article was written, but that quite troubled me, to be honest, when I read that.
Yes, yes. Well, and this is where, if you look at it logically, multiculturalism, etc., comes from. It's this way of thinking, or we're all back to that hackneyed phrase, in it together. Well, we're not, especially those that are coming over into our shores and do not integrate. Forget multiculturalism. It has failed.
It doesn't work.
Integration has failed. And equality has failed.
Yes.
And this is the drastic and simple conclusion. Oh, we've got to be egalitarian. We've got to all be equal. No, that is
Well,
completely different from equal opportunity. I will fight to the last breath to get equal opportunity to everyone. But I'm not sharing out to those people who are sat on the proverbial sofa doing nothing because they've done nothing, they've earned nothing, and I'm blowed whether we should be sharing our wealth with these people. That is the difference between a right wing and a left wing,
yes.
or even a centralist
Yes.
government.
It doesn't work. It's been proved it doesn't work. For goodness sake, I'm sick of people trying because it's such an abominable failure. But if you just look at the animal kingdom, you don't see giraffes like, cozying up to a rhinoceros. Or if you look at them in the jungle, they're all very respectful of the predator or whatever, and they all kind of and you don't go, oh yeah, let's all get in it together. We could be speared by the rhinoceros, or we could do this, and the lion might eat us. Yeah, let's give it a go. Whereas the animal kingdom have got far more nous than we've got. I mean, they don't, they know where danger sits and they avoid it if they can. And we haven't done that. We've just gone, oh, look at us, clever us. Let's have everybody in and do this. It doesn't work.
No,
It
no,
hasn't worked. It won't work. It can never work because of people's cultures, their religions, their beliefs, everything, even their weather and the way you go and live in a desert. It's a bit different to living in Greenland or Iceland or Norway when it's frozen, frozen north. You can't. It's crazy. It's crazy. Just why can't people just respect? You are different. You can't like meld in with us here because you're different and it will cause tension. And it has. Oh boy, hasn't it?
indeed, which moves us on to the statement young lives are being ruled and ruined by big tech.
Mm.
Right, another report come out. 46%, nearly half, continue scrolling on a game or on an item of interest without enjoying it. Once you get in there, you just keep scrolling.
Well, that's the
Uh,
idea.
it
That's
is,
the
and the
idea.
tech companies know how to attract and deceive you. They don't want to lose you. And
Nope.
when the DJ says on radio, tune in again, don't go away, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
They're
because
put,
they do. They are some of these games and stuff are designed to be addictive. They are designed to sort of promote your dopamine so that you want more of it. That's the whole thing of it. People just don't do enough research on what this is all about. I had a call yesterday from a lady who was absolutely distraught because her 14-year-old girl naked photos have been all over social media. Well, I wonder how many times the school had told them don't put naked images. Now she's all over me. What can I do about it? It's happened. I've told her where to go. I've told her what to do, who to contact, and now it's, oh, but I need to talk to you. Well, there's absolutely nothing I can do. It's not my job. That is not the job I do. The job I do is to prevent it in the first place. And your 14-year-old daughter clearly hasn't listened because 14-year-olds think they know best. And I would love to, as everyone, I'd love to know what controls they put in. We're going to be talking to the mother tonight. I'll let you know what parental controls, what advice did she give, what blocks did she put on. I bet nothing.
yeah. It gets worse, 59%, near as you get to 60%. Stay up late on devices.
Mm.
They're
Mm.
cutting down on their sleeping time, much
Oh,
needed, especially at that age.
that has gone out. And also, Rodney, when they take those phones up to bed, they don't, and I've done a straw poll in schools. They will access those phones and devices 30 times during the night. And
Golly.
they come in looking like pandas. They can hardly stay awake in the assembly or in the tutor sessions. White with grey panda eyes underneath it. And so take them out. Why is that so difficult? You take them out the rooms, you put it in a cupboard downstairs along with your own device, and you leave it there.
Yeah.
And if the kid,
Parenting again, we keep saying this,
it's
don't
all
we?
to do with parenting.
Yeah.
It's not a toy. It's driven. My little ones that are staying with me at the moment, their parents are saying, "You're not having a phone until you're 16." And I said, and they're going, "Ugh." I said that you have a look at your bright girls, have a look around the world to see Australia is banning it, we are now banning it. But the problem is they will still use it with other people's friends' children and brothers and sisters. So you're not going to eradicate it completely. But
But don't.
it is about education and getting in, and you have to almost scare these kids to see this is a real story, blah blah blah. This is what can happen. And I can see when I talk to the kids, I can see almost the whites of their eyes, like, oh my gosh, I better look at what I've just done. They don't, and the way the schools instruct in this matter is just not. I honestly, I'd rather stick pins in my eyes. They're so boring.
Well, the tip we can give about all this, of course, more to come shortly, is parents don't be afraid of becoming unpopular. It's tough
But
becoming
that's what
unpopular.
parenting is. You can't become a friend of your children until they're probably in their mid-20s, late 20s, when they themselves are navigating their own life and they realize, oh, it's quite tough. And then they have children of their own, and then you think, oh my gosh, and then they really understand, but they won't listen. There's an arrogance. Is arrogant is too strong a word, but there's probably too much resilience about it's not going to touch me.
Hmm,
They're
yes.
not, they haven't got that risk aware. Do you know what I mean? They don't have it. It's like
No.
gung ho.
All part of growing up through going through the stages. Another fact, 40% turn down real world social opportunities to
Yes,
stay online. Oh, I'm not going out with my mates.
pathetic, isn't it? Isn't
Isn't
it
it?
pathetic? Such is that what's the word I'm looking for? Addiction, really.
Of course.
The addiction that you don't want to go out in the real world and get fresh air and stuff like that. And you can see how it changes children. You get them out in the park, you get them out doing something that really exercises their bodies, and they're different. They're more awake, they're more alert.
And you learn more in that situation than you learn.
Absolutely,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Uh, Real life, face to face, that's how you learn it, and it sticks. It's
It
not
does.
something ephemeral passing
Well,
off
that's right.
because
And when that person's in front of you, you learn to read people, you learn to read
exactly.
body movements and eye contact and stuff like that. You learn over time. Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
And you can't do that through a screen on playing games and things. I
No,
can't think of anything more boring, quite honestly.
no, no. Lastly, 45% are skipping sport and exercise in favor of screen time.
Mm.
No wonder we're all getting fat.
Exactly right. Fat, boring, blobby, uh, because they don't want to get out there and exercise and energize their bodies. It's very, very sad. And also the kids, if you've got parents that aren't going to push you into these activities, if you've got a blobby parents that are
Yes.
slobbing around, then, the kids can't get themselves to these activities. They do rely on transport.
Yeah.
So to some extent, it's not their fault. It's not their fault. It goes back to parenting again. And what do these parents want? Surely you want healthy, proactive children that are going to make a contribution to society, don't you? I would have thought so. That was my aim when I was a parent. Well, I am still a parent, but when I was bringing mine up, I wanted to see do they actually do best for them, for their emotional and mental health and all of that, but also so they ended up with careers that made a difference to people's lives.
Yes, yes. Well, we go from that to something even worse. Is it possible? Yes, it is. You've just got to say two words, national and trust. Now, we don't trust the nationals, but especially the National Trust. This is run by a number of ladies and they look after 200 houses and our heritage they're looking after. And boy, are they destroying it. Wow, they've just produced a film, a video showing re-education of its employees. They've decided to do this. These employees have got to be re-educated.
In
Uh,
what?
well, in DEI, the favourite subject, of
Oh
course. Oh,
no.
yes. Now, not only are they getting rid of the many volunteers that are
Yeah,
really
I know, but they're the heartbeat of any
Of course they
charity.
are. And these gardeners have been gardening for donkey's years, know
Oh,
exactly their patch and
yes,
how, and it's free, and you don't like it. What is gotten to your brains?
I
Well,
know.
I'll tell you what's got into their brains, and that is woke. And they are, well, this video is an education watching it because it's like watching any advert you see on television. Half of the actors are black, the other half are white. Now, if you look at the facts of the National Trust, one black person or Asian person as well goes and visits the National Trust compared with 20 white people. And yet, this is all part of the brain set, the mindset, or whatever set you want. I mean, you've just got to look at everything that fails is woke
It is
because it
true.
goes broke.
It is absolutely true. It is absolutely true. Woke seems to have no boundaries. Anything goes, and along with that goes accountability, responsibility, common sense. All that goes out the window. And it's just this egalitarian. It isn't. Yeah, I mean, you can be kind and inclusive, but not to where it's absolutely breaking a charity or an organization.
But our kids are brought up and brainwashed by the communist
Mm.
teaching that is
Yes,
going on in our schools. No
yes.
wonder they rise to heading up the National Trust and then hiding, changing our history even. And how dare they?
Well, I mean, you see what's going on in schools. I mean, I don't know if you saw the teachers rocking up for the National Teachers Union conference. Good Lord, they look like they'd all come off a pantomime. They looked horrendous. I mean, really, you are teaching our kids. I know it's like they're sort of like downtime, relaxing, but who in their right mind would wear those clothes? And then there was
Oh, have you seen this tattoo, by the way?
oh.
Now,
And
for
my
the
pink hair and my, I
Englovers,
mean, I just think, goodness me, I wouldn't have dreamt of turning up for work looking like that. I mean, awful. And then you've got this brainwashing that's going on in the schools. There's another school this morning I saw, an English primary school, where they've got the Muslim teacher and they're all saying the Allah and all of that. I would go insane if my child was
well,
subjected
that
to
they're
that.
saying, oh, this is how you pray to Allah.
I
What are they
know.
saying that for a 3 and 4 and 5 year old
I know
for
it's
in the first place?
outrageous. I would absolutely raise hell if my child was subjected to that. So why aren't these parents? I mean, they're nearly white kids. They're not, it's just dreadful. And that is not studying humanities. That is not looking at, because even when I was teaching, we looked at different religions, but we didn't practice it out. We talked about Buddhism. We talked about, Hinduism. We talked about it. We didn't go, now we're going to get our prayer mats out. When we're all going to bring lights in next week for Diwali. And oh, by the way, we're not having lunch because it's Ramadan. You don't take it to that level. It's ridiculous. It is utter brainwashing. And then there was quite a bit I've seen recently about really complaining about how woke universities are and how bad it's got. And it has. I mean, to me, it's a complete waste of money to go to university now. I'd do it another way and become an apprentice and save your money. and don't, because what they're brainwashing the children with, well, youngsters, young people with, is I think quite frightening. Because unfortunately, the next generation, that's who you're going to get in charge.
Well, no, I think they're becoming a danger, like
Well, I agree.
universities.
I agree. I agree because you think these are supposedly intelligent people going to university and being fed all this garbage. It's really scary. And then they make it their mantra, which is uh because at that age, when you're young, you're impressionable and you are open to other ideas. And that's not always a good thing. You can be open, but you don't lose your own self, do you? That's the point. What
Yes,
is it I believe in? What is it I represent?
mm,
Who am I? What am I? All that sort of stuff. You don't go, oh, that's a good idea. I'll go and be like that now. Oh, I'll go and be a Green Party. I'll look like Hannah, whatever her name is. I'll look like a Barbie doll. That's what I'll do. Oh, yeah, I'll go and stand on a stage with nothing on and gyrate and be a party leader. What? Where is anybody's rightful self-respect gone?
yes, it gets submerged amongst the. Yeah.
Well, it
Well,
does.
um, California, of course, has always been the place of woke, leading our progressiveness. But one of their law courts has actually made a big decision this last week. And it says, look, big tech cannot keep going on the way it's going. Okay, they've restricted some of the pornographic stuff that appears, but they've not moved at all on social changing that you can with some of these apps. And you've got people under 16 years of age just following slavishly whatever they see
Yes.
repeating on our phones or on our computers. There's got to be some accountability to big tech, and I think it's on its way. But whether we can get our act together, both sides of the pond, to do this, because EU is totally woke as is California. But at
But
least it's got through one of their law courts.
But the thing is, we do have the online safety bill, and that's what I don't understand. I mean, A, it's not strong enough, but B,
No,
since the King wrote that off and signed it off over a year ago now, have we seen anyone in England, have we seen tech companies being ripped to 10% of their income for not taking down, harmful content?
exactly.
I, I mean, 10% of something like, what? Meta is a shed load of money, and the threat is there, but I haven't seen any. Maybe some have, I don't know. I think I saw something the other day, but it's not enough. It's nowhere near
No,
enough.
no, and they're so wealthy, of course, that they
Yes,
can call the tune.
of course. I mean, it's peanuts to them, isn't it, really? When you think of the multi-billions and trillions they're making, it's really,
It is
it's
difficult because we've not got to get rid of freedom of speech,
well, this is
which we
true.
have under our
Yes.
hate laws.
Yeah, well, yeah, but yeah, yeah, but that's also, isn't it, very subjective and also two-tier. The hate crime, the stuff some of these imams are saying, some of these people openly, openly saying what they feel about Jews. I mean, that's the other thing. Zach Polanski, for example, that is such a weirdo going on about, Jews are, what was it, abomination in society or something like came almost straight out of Hitler. So
Ah,
what's he going on about? And anyway, that's hate speech, isn't it?
exactly.
So why is he still walking the streets?
Yes, because he's one of the in crowd, of course. Some people call it elite, but I've got to confess something now. The Telegraph has run 28, yes, it is 28 questions about what class are you in? Now, it always used to be upper class, middle class, and lower class, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, there's six apparently now. So I thought, as a giggle, I'll fill it in. And you know what? After us calling out the elites, I finish up being one of them because it goes into culture, what type of theatre do you go to, and what you enjoy. And it's very fascinating. It's about 3 days ago the Telegraph published.
Oh, I bet I'll be
So
able to find it online.
you find it on, take the test and see where you finish
Yeah,
up.
yeah, I will. I will.
So I thought that was rough justice on me. So I mean, when you see me next time, madam, will you please bow?
I
Which
will.
lady, which,
I will. I'm in revered company. I've always known this, Rodney.
of course, of course. Well, we move on to our last asparagus, or asparagus, as you say down south. And actually, we enjoy it all year in the southern regions of Med here in Spain. It grows wild, and it grows at a fantastic rate.
Mm.
It's quite frightening. And there are three kinds, basic kinds of asparagus. And the common one is green, of course, and it's only available in short times of the year. It's very seasonable in most climates. So get it fresh while you can. You can get it imported, but honestly, it's not the same animal. It's traveled thousands of miles with diesel fumes going over it, I
Yeah.
suppose. But there you go. But many people won't realize, I think, of the three different types. And we're going to go into them briefly. But can I say, with all three different types, it's the best vegetable anywhere for all the vitamins and minerals and nutrients. It is fantastic, very healthy, blooming expensive. Good things often are. But
The 20% of people that eat it, it makes their wee smell.
it makes their what?
Wee smell. Their urine.
Yes, I call it the antibiotic vegetable for the same reason. Because the urine smell comes through with many antibiotics. You can smell the antibiotic. And it's the same with asparagus. So it must be an antibiotic. No, it's not. But there's lots of plants that have many attributes of antibiotics. Cleans you out, fantastic for your kidneys. So there you go. That's the green asparagus. Eat as much of it as you like. But there's also the white asparagus.
Yes, I've seen that.
Now you get that a lot in bottles in Spain and other countries. It is milder, less tasty, and it's dead simple. All you do when you see the asparagus plant pop its head up, instantly around there, cover it with soil. And every time it grows, you cover it with soil. And it doesn't have chance to properly photosynthesize. And you finish up with the white asparagus, which
Ah.
is quite, yeah, different. But especially in Holland, it's worth a fortune. They love this in Holland. If you're Dutch, you know all about this. And the last type is the purple asparagus, which is, if you don't like the asparagus taste, it's the least strong, the sweetest actually. And it's mainly been developed in Italy. And you can actually, as you can with green, we do that here with the green, you don't have to boil it away to make it tender. Yes, cut the tails off if they're particularly hard, but if it's a young plant, you can eat
Yeah,
the whole lot.
the tips are nice, aren't they?
The tips are wonderful,
Yeah,
and
they are.
you can even eat them raw in a salad.
Yeah, oh,
The
nice.
purple, well, you can with the
Yeah,
green, but the
nice.
purple.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
try frying it in, of course, olive oil. It
Mm.
is gorgeous. So there's your three choices.
Well, there we go. I've seen the white one. I love the green one. I haven't seen the purple one.
Purple, yeah, we get it here anyway, but maybe there again, the season could be very short. Go to Italy, it's worth it.
Oh, I love Italy.
That's your asparagus tip for the week, and we'll hopefully see you very shortly.
See you later. Bye bye. Have a good one.